Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, February 16, 2015. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Minister of State Julian has told bus drivers and operators in the West St. George and Carre areas to put the brakes on their planned strike action for this week. The minibus operators had planned on withdrawing their services from today, February 16th, due to poor road conditions. However, in a meeting yesterday afternoon in Bel Air, Minister of State Julian told the bus operators that nationally roads are in bad shape, but says he is prepared to look immediately at the priority areas in West St. George. Francis told the van operators to give him until midweek to mobilize some crews to carry out the cutting, cleaning and patching work.
As close as Wednesday, I can have some teams inside of here to do some patching. The big ones will cut and patch. The small ones will clean and patch. Because if we had to go about the cut and patch for all the little ones that we have, you're not going to feel satisfied in the shortest possible time. Because it's extensive. I know the condition of the roads. In fact, while they all were delayed, I drove around a little bit because some areas have been identified, like the corner by the spa, by the Gomez School, Middle Road. One of the things we will have to do in West St. George, and we are doing in some of the constituencies, is to cut the overhanging trees. If you, by going up by Verral, we have fixed that road about 5 or 6 times already. But because of the overhanging trees and constant water, and not enough sunshine to dry out the water as quickly as possible, a lot of it in Middle Road is the same problem.
Francis further says last Wednesday in Cabinet, Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves pledged $1.6 million to Bacchus to specifically carry out road patching works across the country.
And that is the specific nature of that $1.6 million. So, but that is not for West St. George alone, as for all the constituencies. And I am prepared to work with you all, like I did. Code Red was there with the guys up in Central Kingstown, and we did some reasonable work up there. All the work was not complete, but I think they were satisfied that we had shown some interest and that we will continue to patch. Further, I've said this before and I said it during the budget, we are negotiating with Kuwait, Saudi Arabia and OPEC fund for $30 million US to do significant road repairs to the secondary and village roads in the country. It is not going to be tomorrow, so it is not a lack of interest in fixing the road. It is basically a money thing.
Meanwhile, President of the Omnibuses Association, Anthony Bacchus, thanked the minister for meeting with them and says they look forward to the commencement of work on the roads by Wednesday. Bacchus, however, explains that he is saddened that steps were only taken to repair the roads because of the threatened strike action.
Our jobs, functions as bus operators, very important to us and the community, the people in the community. This is how the people get back and forth. And I'm pretty sure that each and every operator, bus operator in this area, you know, they got fed up. They couldn't take the constantly excess of spending money and making money and spending money. So they finally came to a decision to take a stand. So we are just hoping and praying that everything begins on Wednesday, because if it not started on Wednesday, the operator is going to withdraw their service. Thursday. I'm standing to be corrected, Thursday. So we will continue to work tomorrow. Everybody agree? Because we heard it. There's no sense that we withdraw the service and wait till Thursday. Okay? We are going to give the benefit of the doubt. Okay? Out of respect for the government.
As of today, Monday, February 16th, Vincentians are seeing a reduction in fuel prices. The reduction was first announced by Prime Minister Dr. Rav Gonsalves last Thursday on radio during his weekly Ask the Prime Minister program. Dr. Gonsalves says the reduction includes the drop in the price for gasoline, diesel and LPG cooking gas. A gallon of gasoline now costs $11.47, down from $12.72, which is a reduction of $1.25. Diesel will now retail at $11.05 per gallon from $12.92, a reduction of $1.87. LPG cooking gas is seeing the biggest reduction. A 20-pound cylinder is now retailing at $29 from $41.81, which is a saving of $12.81. A 100-pound cylinder of LPG will now cost $138, down from $197.05. While some persons here were on Saturday celebrating Valentine's with loved ones, one businessman was busy trying to revive his business, having been out of operation for 4 years now. Owner of Bigger Trucking and Block Construction Company Limited, Leon Biggs Samuel, held a special event for the media on Saturday, February 14th at his Rabaca mining site, which went out of business in February 2011. The event saw members of the local media being given a tour of the project and also heard from some of the former employees of the company, who explained that their lives have been negatively impacted and altered by the closure of the business. Prior to the tour, persons were welcomed on the set by a display of placards, which Samuel described as the weapons used in his fight and struggle to getting his business back up and running.
It was my Bible and these placards. So hence the reason why I put in them this evening, that they could put all together in one space, one place, where everybody can be seen at one time. It's the first time they would have ever been seen all at one time, and hence the reason I decided to bring them here this evening, to make them, to show persons what you can do with just the strength of God. Don't leave him out, and being persistent, and with the goodness of people, especially the general public who are out there, and who are out there still fighting and helping to advocate in the struggle.
After a tour of the site, Samuel described the occasion as bittersweet.
And I am now about to turn the public now, and the media especially, to why I've been saying, dubbing it a bittersweet or sweet bitter victory, because I want us to take a look now at the crushing and sifting plant, and also a generator and other pieces of equipment on site, that they have been in this position for the last 4 years, and hence the element has taken its toll on them. People also has done a tremendous job in wrecking them, and I just want you all to see the bitter part of this evening ceremony.
Meanwhile, agronomist Clive Bishop, who was on hand for the occasion, says he is extremely happy that the company will soon be able to officially restart its operations.
I think it's a part of our black history, so we should note this day today as a part of the black history in St. Vincent. All of us who stood up with Bigger over the years are a part of this history. One of the areas I went to first when we came here this afternoon, Dr. Murray and I, was just to the south, the board of the Lady Jane River, which she was accused of excavating. And if you have a chance, you could go and look for yourself. The side of the river to Bigger, that is the northern side, is well covered with vegetation, so you could see that there has been no excavation there. And the other side is very steep, and you could see, aspects of natural erosion. That's natural. And the riverbed right now is filled with sediment that came down from the river over the couple of months. There's no water flowing there now because it's a dry river, and the water will disappear on the ground for several months until the gravity returns late in spring and it will come to the surface. That's the nature of the river, right? So you could see that all the technical things he was accused of were not so.
Plans toward making the Argyle International Airport a green airport is to be taken a step further next month. According to the International Airport Development Company, the IADC, officials of the Caricom Development Fund, the CDF, are expected to return here to sign a loan agreement for $750,000 towards the setting up of a solar photovoltaic system at the airport site. The IDC says the system is expected to provide 2 megawatts of electricity when completed, but in the first phase of development will provide 220 kilowatts, which will partially power the terminal building. CEO of the CDF, Ambassador Lon McDonough, says the loan is a very concessional one with a 2-year moratorium. According to him, the project being initiated at the Argyle International Airport is a pilot project and is part of a larger green program for the CDF, which will eventually be extended to other parts of the region. Several youngsters were initiated into the Caricom Youth Ambassadors Program on Saturday, 14 February, and have pledged to use their energies, talents and resources to give service to this country and the region. Minister of National Mobilization Frederick Stephenson, who delivered brief remarks, urged the newly inducted ambassadors to also be a part of the Ministry of Youth Programs and be involved by helping to build others.
Don't just believe that we give you a nice certificate with the minister's signature and the signature of the person who's in charge of the Youth Affairs Department, and that's the end of it all. But you have to be involved. For example, the incident at Rock Gutter. I listened here that some of you are involved in counseling. We know that the people there would need your assistance. We listen and we hear on the radio from time to time that there are young children and there are persons of school age who get involved in activities that you can help with. And you can go into the schools, you have a certificate saying, I am a Caricom Youth Ambassador, I'm trained in this particular field and I can help. I want to talk to the students.
Meanwhile, Acting Youth Officer Philcol reiterated the need for the Caricom Youth Ambassadors to be more action-oriented.
Now, if you as CYA's committee members understand your purpose for being involved in this process, your citations that are read sounds very lovely. But having such lovely aspirations without action means nothing. So if you're going to be serious about developing St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it is a time for you to be called to action. And we at the Youth Affairs Department stand ready to support you. As a matter of fact, we in the Ministry of National Mobilization stand ready to support you in your activities and all that you plan to do to develop St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The wealth of knowledge and skills that you possess stands ready and willing to serve St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the pathways that we are going to forge ahead.
In an effort to enhance their knowledge of the Caricom Single Market and Economy, the CSME, a training workshop was conducted earlier today at the Grenadines House for media practitioners. Director of Regional Integration and Diaspora Unit, Ambassador Elsworth John, said the Caricom Unification Initiative through the CSME is a relevant part of the development as a Caribbean people. He said the flagship of the CSME, which was established 8 years ago, has made considerable strides in how people of the Caribbean move and do business.
All of the other member states have put in place at least 80 to 90% of all the administrative and legal arrangements for the single market. And this includes the ability of persons to move across the region, especially workers in certain categories, to move from one member state to the other member state. But all of us know that sometimes, and it is a reality, that when immigration was established in all of our countries, they were established as a mechanism to keep people out, not to encourage people to come in. And that mindset still resides with some people, right, Olivia? So that mindset still resides with certain people. And there is also a perception, even among immigration officers in some of our countries, that the country that they are protecting persons from is like the best country in the region.
Caricom Deputy Program Manager of Free Movement Labour, Olivia Smith, reminded persons that the region is at an important era of development. She noted the times of depending on more developed countries for assistance are coming to an end, and Caribbean countries needed to come together if real progress is to be achieved. The Caricom representative said that in an effort to change mindset and inform the populace, the CSME has worked on a media package which is going to target younger minds.
There are other activities we are working on from the regional perspective to ensure that stakeholders are knowledgeable of their rights and the operations of the CSME. I made special reference, example, to the youth and to the training of immigration officers in member states, and we will also be continuing the student missions. For the first time at the regional level, we are looking at a product for the 5 to 11-year-old group in the form of animation, and we expect to engage the young minds at the early stages about regional integration.
Vincentians stand to benefit from a national family planning program as part of plans to further expand and develop the health sector. To this end, the National Family Planning Unit within the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment will host a 2-day workshop for nurses who work in community health service. The practical workshop will be conducted at the Division of Nursing Education of the SVG Community College on the 23rd and 24th of February 2015. The 3 main objectives of the training program are to address the pelvic assessment in relation to the IUCD insertion at health centers, to provide healthcare workers with knowledge and skills needed to promote the use of the IUCD, and to have nurses involved in return demonstrations of the IUCD insertion technique. Facilitators will be drawn from among the professionals in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment. Delroy 13, a 30-year-old laborer of Queens Drive, has been arrested and charged by the Narcotics Division for possession of a controlled drug. He was reportedly intercepted by the police with 940 grams of marijuana at the Mountwin Public Road while traveling on a minibus on Saturday, February 14, 2015. When he appeared at the Kingston Magistrate Court this morning, he pleaded guilty and explained to the court that he was attempting to sell the drug to pay for child maintenance at the family court. He was fined $2,500 to be paid forthwith or face 3 months in prison. Meanwhile, David George and Akil Chadband of Tobago have been arrested and charged by immigration authorities for breaching the immigration laws here. They are accused of entering Union Island on Friday the 13th of February 2015 without relevant travel documents and also without the permission of the chief immigration officer. Both men were intercepted by the police on February 14th at the home of a prominent resident of the area when a search warrant was executed. They were taken into custody and handed over to the immigration authorities. Appearing before Acting Senior Magistrate Carla James today, both men pleaded guilty to the charges. They were fined $200 each forthwith or face a 1-week jail term. They were also ordered to be deported from the state.